there's a rumor surfacing that the Knicks are targeting Jrue Holiday. And while he makes a lot of sense for this team, I just don't see how it's going to be possible. Jrue Holiday would be a great fit next to Jalen Brunson, as we saw with the Boston Celtics. But at the end of the day, he makes 3 years, $32 million a year for the next 3. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of time. So A, that's a big commitment for the Knicks, and B, they would have to give up two very vital players. The one option is trading him for OG Anunoby, but at the end of the day, OG Anunoby is just way too impactful to trade him for a very short-term option in Jrue Holiday. And the only way I see that being done is if the Trailblazers also add picks or absorb other salary, but I just don't see that as a great option for the Knicks. Then you have Josh Hart as well as Mitchell Robinson for Jrue Holiday straight up. And while I don't think that is a terrible trade, I don't think it's the best for the Knicks. They need center depth because if they do that trade, it's not going to leave them any cap space left to go get a center. So Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be their full-time center, and then whatever backup they can get by combining Gershon Yabusal's $5 million plus Pacome Dadie's $2 million. So at the end of the day, I just don't see that as a great option. I think if it's Josh Hart for Jrue Holiday straight up, that's probably okay for the Knicks, but it won't work with salaries. So the way I see this deal getting done is if the Knicks realize in free agency they are going to either lose Mitchell Robinson or have to overpay him for longer than they want to. And I don't think this is the end of the world if they end up overpaying him or let him walk. But if they realize that, it might make sense to trade him. But I just don't think this would be the best trade. I think if they do realize, hey, let's trade him, I think a better option would be, trading him to the Bulls for Zach Collins and like a first-round pick, maybe 2 first-round picks. There's other centers making similar money who are more short-term that they could also get draft capital back. I think that's the better option than trading multiple players for Jrue Holiday. I don't think this deal is terrible for the Knicks because, like I said, Jrue Holiday would be a good fit on this team, but it does leave a lot of pressure on Karl-Anthony Towns, who is already not the most athletic center. The reason he's so good is his shooting and the way he can stretch the floor. But without that, Cat isn't the best center. I think he's definitely more of a power forward. So I just don't see it for the Knicks. Where else could Jrue Holiday go? Because at the end of the day, it makes more sense for Portland to trade him. Getting Mitchell Robinson and Josh Hart back would be nice for Portland. Obviously, getting OG Anunoby would be good. But who would be targeting Jrue Holiday that could give Portland something back? Because Portland did trade Anthony Simons for Jrue Holiday. Simons is good, but he also had to be paid. And one I like here is actually the Toronto Raptors. Because the team that's going to take on Jrue Holiday, I don't think they should be in a win now. They're all in because of his salary. The next 3 years, $23 million, that's a lot. But for Toronto, they're in a conference where they can definitely win. They have a good team, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. So I like an Emmanuel Quickley swap for Jrue Holiday here. The Trailblazers would love to get Emmanuel Quickley. He's under contract. It's not too much, and he's been good. I think looking at it like Anthony Simons for Emmanuel Quickley is pretty good. But at the same time, for Toronto, Quickley has been good. He's younger. But I don't think it's too bad if, let's say, Jrue Holiday's production drops off massively next year. He'll still be a good vet for the next 3 years, and $32 million isn't the end of the world for a team that's not all in. If they're all in, they're older, like a team like the Bucks, then no, it's not going to make sense. But for a team like Toronto, maybe the Magic, maybe even Memphis, it could make sense. Let me know where you think Jrue Holiday should be traded, and subscribe for other trade deadline news. Help me hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the NBA season, and see you next time on No Bias Hoops.